The doctor said our baby had no heartbeat. But when I looked at my girlfriend, she was smiling. The ultrasound gel was cold on Anne's stomach. Too cold. I remember thinking that as the doctor pressed the wand against her skin, the black and white screen flickering with static. Just a little longer, the tech said, her voice tight. Anne's hand was in mine, but her grip was loose, distant, like she wasn't really there. Then the doctor turned off the machine. "I'm so sorry," she said softly. "There's no cardiac activity. Our baby was gone. My name is Joseph Carter." Sometimes you never know what life throws at you. When I heard the news about the baby, I choked on air, my knees buckling. But when I looked at Anne, my girlfriend, the mother of what should have been our child, she wasn't crying. She was smiling. Not a big smile, just a small, relieved curve of her lips, like a weight had been lifted. Then she turned to me and said the words that would haunt me forever. Maybe this is God's way of telling us we're not right for each other. 2 years ago, and I met in a coffee shop. She tripped and spilled her latte on me. Oops. Clumsy me. And handed me a napkin with her number scribbled on it. I should have known then, but I didn't. For a year, we were happy. Or at least I was. She moved in after 6 months. My apartment has mold. Talked about marriage, about kids. Then, surprise, she got pregnant. "The pill must have failed," she said, laughing. I believed her. Looking back, the signs were there. I just didn't want to see them. And joined a new fitness center 3 months into the pregnancy. Doctor says I need to stay active. But she came home smelling like perfume, not sweat. And she always came back, happier. She changed her password. Just privacy, Joseph. But I caught her texting at 3 a.m., fingers flying. The screen flashed a name. Mark? At an appointment, the nurse asked, "And you're the father?" And answered without thinking, "No." Then she laughed. Pregnancy brain. Of course he is. But the nurse's eyes flicked to me. And I knew something was wrong. And came home late, her eyes red-rimmed. Bible study ran long, she mumbled. I didn't ask which church. I already knew. She went straight to the bathroom. The faucet ran. Then a sound. A crinkle. Like a pill bottle being opened. When I pushed the door open, she jumped, shoving something into the cabinet. "Just vitamins," she said. But the label I glimpsed wasn't for prenatals. After the hospital, I sat in the car and was texting again, her thumbs tapping furiously. I grabbed her phone. She shrieked, clawing at me. But I saw the messages. "Mark, is it over?" And yes, God answered our prayers. Mark, the tea worked faster than I thought. Tea. I remember the herbal blends she'd been drinking. The way she'd insisted I never touch them. Special pregnancy tea, she'd said. A Google search later, my hands shook. Pennyroyal tea, known to induce miscarriages. I followed her the next Thursday. The church was Mark's apartment. Through the window, I saw them. Anne's hands in his lips brushing her ear. Their bodies pressed close as the others prayed. Then my phone rang. "Mr. Carter," the nurse said urgently. "We need you to come in. There's something unusual in your partner's blood work." My hand shook so badly I almost dropped the phone. "Unusual blood work?" I repeated, staring at and through the gym window as she laughed with Mark. "What does that mean?" The nurse's voice dropped to a whisper. "Your partner's HCG levels don't match a natural miscarriage. There are substances in her system. We need you to come in immediately." A cold wave crashed over me. Substances. That tea. The pills. Mark's text. The tea worked faster than I thought, and chose that moment to turn toward the window. Our eyes met through the glass. Her smile died. I ran. Dr. Shaw slid a toxicology report across the desk. "Joseph, your partner had high doses of pennyroyal and black cohosh in her system, both known to induce miscarriages." The words hit like a sledgehammer. "She did this on purpose?" "I can't say intent," she said carefully, "but these levels don't occur accidentally." She hesitated. "There's more. Her uterus shows scarring inconsistent with a first miscarriage." A chill crawled down my spine. How many times has this happened? At least twice before. The room spun. All those times, and had late periods, the food poisoning that left her bedridden for days. She'd done this before. I tore our apartment apart after that. Beneath her winter coats, I found 3 positive pregnancy tests, all different brands/dates. A journal with entries like "took the tea again," praying it works this time. A receipt for a $500 wire transfer to M. Pearson last month. But the worst was the locked metal box under the bed. When I smashed it open, I found ultrasound photos of 2 different pregnancies. Neither was ours. A handwritten note. Procedure successful. Destroy all records. MP. A vial labeled PT14 with a pharmacy sticker. Mark Pearson, RN. Mark wasn't just a trainer. He was a nurse. And came home to find me waiting, the evidence spread across our kitchen table. "Joseph, I can explain." "How many?" My voice sounded alien. "How many babies did you kill?" She didn't deny it. Just tilted her head, eerily calm. "Only the ones that weren't his." His. The truth detonated between us. Mark was her ex from nursing school. They'd been together our entire relationship. This was their sick game. Get her pregnant by me, then cleanse it. "God told us to test you," she whispered. "You failed every time." I played the voicemail Mark had left that afternoon without realizing I'd answered. "Babe, the pharmacy flagged the PT14 script. We need to disappear. Pack the..." And lunch for my phone. Too late. When I woke in the hospital, concussion, broken ribs, the cops told me. And then Mark had emptied our accounts. His nursing license was fake. They'd done this to 2 other men in different states. But they left something behind. A positive pregnancy test in the bathroom trash. Fresh. 6 months after Ann and Mark vanished, I hired a PI. It took him 3 days to find them living under fake names in a rundown motel outside Reno. Interesting thing, the PI said, sliding photos across my kitchen table. "She's heavily pregnant. Due any day now." The picture made my coffee taste like acid, and belly swollen, standing outside a clinic with Mark. Both smiling. "That's impossible," I choked out. "After everything she..." Here's the kicker. He tapped another photo, a prescription bottle in Mark's hand. "Fertility drugs. Turns out your ex couldn't get pregnant naturally. Those miscarriages? They were never real." The police report laid it all out. The fake pregnancies. And I've been taking HCG injections to fake positive tests. The miscarriages? High doses of laxatives to mimic cramping. The ultimate goal. They targeted men with inheritance money, like me. A baby meant payouts for 9 months until the tragic loss. What went wrong? Our last pregnancy test was real, a miracle fluke. When Mark found out, he panicked. A real baby ruined their grift. The T, I realized aloud. They were trying to kill an actual pregnancy that time. I didn't go for revenge. I went to the Reno motel with cops. We found fake sonogram photos plastered on the walls. My stolen savings stacked in a diaper bag. And alone, screaming through contractions. Mark had fled an hour earlier. Left her to deliver their real baby alone. As paramedics loaded her onto a gurney and grabbed my arm. "Joseph, please." I pulled away. God must be sending you a sign. At the hospital, 2 revelations dropped like bombs. The baby wasn't Mark's. DNA tests proved he was sterile. The father? Some random guy from their gym scam. And secret. Her journal confessed everything. If it's real this time, I'll keep it. Mark will never know. She'd planned to disappear with my money and someone else's baby all along. The last photo I ever saw of Ann. Jail cell background, fraud charges. No baby in the frame, adopted out. Her holding a Bible like a prop. As for me, I moved. Changed my number. But sometimes when my phone rings at 3 a.m., I let go to voicemail. The adoption agency sent me a letter about the baby last year. I burned it unopened. Would you have looked? Kindly let me know on the comment section.